Hello, this is OverlordBou, and we're back with another information video, and today we'll be going over how to dodge torps with SAT score. And since SAT score is a lot better at explaining this stuff than me, I'm gonna let him take it over from here.
All right. And yes, this is a tutorial of how to dodge torpedoes. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a torpedo. So a lot of the dodging actually comes from preemptively knowing when the torps are going to come. I find that most of the time when I take torps, they're unexpected. Like I did not guess the direction, or the torpedoes were in a different location than I expected. So the best way to dodge torpedoes is to first at least anticipate them. So let's go over a couple of tips. So if you look on the mini-map, a destroyer was spotted at roughly F5. So if you know a destroyer is in the area, he is most likely going to start throwing torpedoes. So in that case, you want to start angling your ship towards the direction you expected torpedoes. And since that one is a recent spot, it's best to kind of start turning your ship so that you are parallel, you're pointing towards that last known position. Oftentimes, that is one of your first indicators that a destroyer might be torpedoing you. If your ship happens to have hydro, say like you're a cruiser or a German battleship, then hydro is also very useful. Make sure to turn it on before you see the torpedoes come by, not afterwards. Because after you've been torped, torps will be on cooldown, and so you're going to waste the first 30-40 seconds of your hydro. It's not shown on this map, but if there's islands in the area, you can use those to block potential torpedo routes. So let's say I was over at D4, and if there's an island between you and my last known position, you can just hide behind that and wait for the torps to pass before you continue on again. And then finally, depending on the map, there are certain choke points that you should be very careful because they tend to attract a lot of torpedoes. And also, same thing with smoke screens. If possible, you want to go in with hydro or at least be angled to where you're expecting torpedoes. So, since you're out in the open, you should start varying, and you know that I'm in the area, you should start varying your speeds and general direction. As you can tell, Bo has thrown out a depth charge plane, so now he knows roughly where my destroyer is. He may not be able to shoot me, but he knows where my torpedoes are going to come from, and so he can angle in. As you can tell, the first set has passed over, and since he's going to turn in, my second set of torpedoes will also miss. Alright, so do you have priority target?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. So if you have priority target, there's another trick you can use. So let's say your PT counter is reading 1. All of a sudden, it drops to 0, but after a few seconds, it goes back up to 1. That is when you know a destroyer is torpedoing you. This is when the destroyer is in gun mode, it will give you 1 priority target. But if once he switches over to torpedoes, that does not count as aiming at you, so it drops by 1. And when he's done with a torpedo attack, usually it'll relock onto the target he's aiming at. In this case, it'll go back up to 1. So whenever you see your PT counter go down by 1 and then up after a few seconds, that is when you need to start dodging. Of course, not in every situation you are able to dodge torpedoes. So, if you're not able to dodge torpedoes, the best you can do is try to mitigate the damage. For most ships, including battleships, what you want to do is turn into the torpedoes. Like, if you're not able to dodge it, try to take it on the bow or stern, especially if they're saturated. This will notably reduce the amount of damage you take, and will also allow you to heal it up due to how saturation mechanics work. if you're a battleship with a very thick belt, like a Yamato, and you're only going to take one torpedo, then it is okay to try to get it onto your torpedo belt, so you mitigate over half the damage. And okay, and I've already explained the basics of dodging torpedoes. You basically want to be angled in. You want to turn in or turn out, depending on what angle you're taking. So yep, so since Bo is, since he knows where I'm torping from, you see he's only able to take one torpedo from, per attack. I've already thrown out several torpedo attacks already, and he's only taken about 30k damage. If he did not know where if he had no idea where I was and wasn't actively dodging, he would have been dead by now. And finally, when you're dodging torpedoes, you should either turn in or turn out. Whatever you do, try to go parallel to the torpedoes. You also want to use your engine, especially when the torpedoes overtake you. What you don't want to do is go at full speed, turn and dodge the torpedo initially, but then turn back because you overcorrected and run back into torpedo. That is something you don't want to do. Ideally, you want to avoid pushing into a torpedo destroyer, since he can constantly attack you over and over. If possible, have another destroyer or someone with hydro up in front. That way they can give you more advanced warning of when to dodge. If that's not possible, then it might not be a good idea to go in. It is a lot harder to hit a runaway target versus one that's coming at you. So, if possible, try not to push into a torpedo destroyer. But, of course, that may not be possible in every game. So if you stick to the tips I give you, that will give you a much better chance of surviving torpedo attacks. It's not always perfect, and sometimes you will die no matter what, but it is best to try and improve your survivability chances as much as you can. So Bo, is there anything else you want me to cover?
No, I think you pretty much covered it at this point. You covered all the tips for dodging torps, and if you're dealing with the torp DD. So you did a very good job on that. I think you pretty much covered everything. I don't think we really need to cover anything else in this video. But yeah,
Right.
what do you think? Is there anything else you need to add, or you think it's good?
I think I've covered all of the basics.
Okay. Well, that is going to be it for the day. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely leave them down in the comments down below. Again, this is just a quick little tutorial on how to dodge torpedoes. But yep, before then though, I just want to blow you up, so. I just want to blow you up. If RNG says so.
If you remember nothing else from the video, just most of your dodging will come from anticipating torpedoes. A lot of the times, if the first thing you see is the torpedoes, if they come out of nowhere, then usually you're going to take a lot more damage. So basically the best way to defend yourself is to know that it's coming.
For sure. But yep, that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, concerns, definitely leave a comment down below. Greatly appreciate it. We'll do our best to answer them. But yep, this is OverlordBou and SAT score, and we'll talk to y'all later. Oh, big stretch, dude. Oh, big stretch, yeah.